I'm going to be honest, the DLC started kind of mid if I'm being honest, but today we are going to discuss the improvements over the, year for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC and what you could be possibly seeing with quality in the future. Let's get to it. One thing I want to mention is the DLC was never like outright terrible, like gameplay wise. It's mostly in the visuals that were the parts that struggled with, especially in early Wave 1. Like Wave 1 was, oh boy, that one was a doozy. But let's go through the story of kind of each DLC and its wave up to where it is now with Wave 4, okay? So Wave 1, oh, that one is where it gets interesting. Probably the most interesting one here, because Wave 1 had a very big issue with the original trailer, and the original trailer looked like hot garbage. And the fact that it looked like hot garbage just instantly like helps like make it less appealing, because I mean, if you looked at the original trailer's Coconut Mall, it looked so bad. It should not be a thing, but it was. Well, then us fans were like, actually it needs to be better. So, you know, Nintendo actually, by God, improved it. Not by much, but they sure did improve it. I mean, in all technicality, we did get what we asked for. Not by a lot, but we did get what we asked for. And then, you know, it still was very mid. I mean, Toad Circuit being the prime example of just the Wave 1 graphic style. Overall, Wave 1, it just did not work at all for what graphics could have been, and it was quite frankly bad. Like, it was horrible, but at least it stood up gameplay wise, I'll give it that. And then Wave 2 came around, which I'm going to be honest, Wave 2 forward started having some pretty cool looking bangers. Like, obviously this wave does not have like the super banger like Wave 3 does with like what's it called, 3DS Rainbow Road and like possibly Merry Mountain looking really cool, and just the visuals of that one. But Wave 2 did have like some great looking tracks in there. Not a lot, but I'd say like tracks like Waluigi Pinball definitely can stand up to or what we could want. And obviously Wave 2 and 3, they were huge improvements over the last two waves, or Wave 1, sorry. Huge, and I mean huge improvements, so not just like minor little oopsie daisies, little big little steps. No, they were quite frankly huge. Obviously, like, could be bigger, but you know, that's where Wave 4 comes in, but we'll get to that. But it still had a couple tracks that were quite frankly doozies, like SNES MC3 and Rock Mountain being the primary ones that people point at, and I can agree to that. I will say I feel like some tracks just could have been better in like both the other ones, but you know, we got what we got and it's tolerable. It still doesn't blend in, but I mean, it's a thing, and I just wanted to point it out that yeah, it exists, and it's its own thing. Like, the DLC, it improved. And then Wave 4 came along, and like this track being one of the many examples, there is a lot more quality in Wave 4 just all of a sudden. Wave 4 might have done it. It might have made the boosted course. Well, I mean, the boosted course pass was always worth it with 48 for new tracks, but this honestly graphically improved it so much. It's actually insane. Like, we should not have this and Toad Circuit in the same DLC. It should not be legal in any form of the continent, but honestly, I'll take it. Like, this, besides a few, very few small details, literally can look like a base game track. Obviously, I'm using a modded texture, which, by the way, if you have a mod switch, check out my workshop channel. I have more content there for mods. But yeah, this is just like beautiful, honestly. And this isn't the only track. Waluigi Stadium, I almost said pinball for some reason. That track, despite having its flaws, looks great for what it's worth. It's a phenomenal track. Like, sure, I don't think it's the best gameplay wise. It's not horrible, but it's tolerable. But visually, I would go as far to say it's the best, and I mean best, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC track as of right now. Obviously, Wave 5 and 6 did not come out yet, so only God knows what's gonna happen then. Yeah, only God knows. But honestly, like, outside of the two examples, like, it still is really good. I mean, like, DS Mario Circuit probably being the lowest quality track though. That's the thing. DS Mario Circuit was definitely the lowest quality visual track, but it still did not look terrible and actually had a grass texture. Wow, that's crazy. But with all this in mind, this begs the question, why? Why isn't Nintendo listening to us, quite frankly? Why is it, like, why do they care all of a sudden in Wave 4? Obviously, it may not be as much as they should care, but it's there, and let's talk about that part. It's right there. Like, I mean, we're consumers. We're the ones buying these freaking things. Obviously, most of us already bought it with Wave 1, so we kind of just have it no matter what. But I feel like this obviously isn't the end. Like, I'm just gonna say this flat out. I think the DLC in general, even if there is a Booster Course Pass 2, this is just a hold off to the next Mario Kart, in my opinion. Obviously, we won't know until we find out, but I definitely have a feeling that this whole time with the whole DLC, Wave 1 through Wave 6, they're just holding us off. So, yeah, they may be improving the tracks to make us more liking of it, but maybe it's a fact that they're not making it crazy because it's saving all the effort for, well, Mario Kart, whatever it's called, Mario Kart Ultimate, whatever they call it. Probably like Mario Kart 9 Ultimate 8 Deluxe type stuff name. I don't know, it's Nintendo, but I feel like that's the thing. They're not holding us, they're just holding us off. I feel like that's how it is, and they don't need to put too much effort into the DLC. And quite frankly, they tried the very no effort strategy at all with Wave 1. And look where that got them. So then they probably improved it, and then I would think more people would have bought the DLC. Because, you know, quality started improving. I don't know, that's just my theory. A game theory. But it's just a thought, you know. Well, let's just have some room for thought here, okay? And here's the last thing I want to talk about. Do I think the DLC is going to get very big graphic updates after Wave 4? No, I don't think so. I think Wave 4 is not the peak itself, but like really close to the peak of graphics we're gonna give the DLC, in my opinion. Maybe they'll blow something out of the water and just make, like, I don't know, something from the base game. Like, maybe they'll make the bathroom track from Mario Kart Tour that's been down in mind a base game worthy for some god-awful reason. I don't know why. Probably because it would be hilarious, but, you know, hey, that's besides the point. In the end, I guess what I'm trying to say is the DLC overall, yeah, it's graphically not the best in any way, shape, or form, especially in earlier waves, but it's proven itself to me, personally. It's made it more difficult, actually, ironically, to make these retextures. And at this point, I'm not doing it because I want them to be better. It's just a challenge. That's why I want to do it. I'm doing these because it's a fun challenge. I think the challenge of making my own custom textures is fun. And that's why I'm doing it at this point. But off topic, that's its own thing that I think I've discussed in the past. Yeah. So moral of the story is, the DLC, it's proven itself with graphics and visuals. It's not done yet, but I think it's really close, and I'm happy with how far it's gone.